Hello students, welcome to PRS Biology. Today we are going to discuss about the first chapter of NCERT syllabus for class 12, and it is the reproduction in organisms. So it is your first chapter of NCERT class 12. So in this chapter we are going to discuss about the reproduction the lifespan what are the different types of reproduction found in the organism, and about the parthenogenesis. So these are the basics of this chapter. This is a very brief chapter and I am going to discuss the points. First of all, what is reproduction? The reproduction is a vital process. The reproduction is a vital process by which the organism perpetuate its number and also maintain the continuity on earth. So reproduction is a vital process by which the organism perpetuate its number and maintain the continuity of its species on earth. So reproduction is a very essential for survival of a living organism. So without reproduction we cannot proceed. The organism cannot survive without the reproduction, and hence it is a vital process to perpetuate its number. Now, what is lifespan? So lifespan is the period between birth to natural death. So lifespan refers to the period between the birth from the natural death. The organism birth and death period refers to the lifespan. So lifespan is equivalent to the individual's life cycle. So probably you know what is life cycle, and it is equivalent to the lifespan. So life cycle and lifespan is quite same. Now the lifespan of an individual can be long or short. It may be 400 years, up to 400 years, or less than 1 day. So for example, the long lifespan, the great banyan tree and the mayfly are short-lived. Now, what are the different types of reproduction observed in an living organism? So The types of reproduction can be divided into the artificial mode of reproduction and the natural mode of reproduction. Artificial reproduction is the man-made reproduction that always used by the man for their own benefit. And generally the artificial reproduction observed in the plants because they are essential for our day-to-day activities. So the artificial reproduction can be categorized into grafting. So what is grafting? In grafting, two different plants can be grow as a single individual plant. For that, we have two plants. One can be used as a stalk for rooting, and the stem part is called the scion. And both, when joined mechanically, it can be grow as a single plant because of the presence of cambium. So grafting is a process in which two plants can go together, and it is possible only in dicot because of the presence of the cambium between the xylem and phloem. It is the meristematic layer of cell, and it is also a very important question that why grafting is not possible in the monocot plant. The next one is cutting, and probably you know about the cutting, and it is the general process. The next one is the layering, and it may be, for example, the air layering process, where in air layering the part of the plant can be a thin layer will be prepared, and after rooting it can be transferred to the soil and can be grown into a new plant. The natural mode of reproduction can be divided into three types. First one is the vegetative reproduction. Second one is asexual reproduction, and the third one is the sexual reproduction. So the vegetative reproduction and asexual reproduction is same, because in both the processes there is no intervention of the male and female gamete. But the vegetative term is given because here the vegetative body part or the somatic part directly gives rise to the new individual. So here comes the vegetative reproduction. So the vegetative reproduction is equivalent to the asexual reproduction, as there is no intervention of the male and female gamete. Now move on to the asexual and sexual reproduction. What are the main basic differences of the asexual and sexual mode of reproduction? The first important point is that there is no fusion of gamete. In asexual reproduction there is no involvement of the gamete, and the sexual reproduction, fusion of two different types of gamete is involved. The next point is that in asexual reproduction only one parent is involved, that is, it is a monogenic reproduction. And in sexual reproduction there is two different kinds of individual is involved, that is male and female. two different types of individual parents are involved. The third point is that in sexual reproducing progenies are always similar to their exactly carbon copies to their parent, and in sexual reproduction there is variation occur which leads to the evolution. So now move on to the advantages of the sexual reproduction. As we already know, in spite of the complexities, the sexual reproduction is mostly preferable by the higher organism, and it is due to the first one is that due to the variability it leads to evolution. So sexually reproducing organism has variation which leads to evolution, and the evolution occur through exchange of genes. So this is the very important point. The second one is that offsprings that produced through the sexual reproduction are always healthy as compared to the asexual progenies, and they also have the greater disease resistant capacity. The fourth point is that they are vulnerable to catastrophic changes. So this type of offsprings are more can tolerate environmental stress. So the sexual reproduction is preferable due to variability, and it leads to evolution, and the basic process is that the crossing over that takes place during the cell division. So the genes can be exchanged during the crossing over, and it is the pegytic stage of the meiosis cell division where crossing over occurs, and the pegytic stage the exchange of genetic material takes place. Now what is parthenogenesis? So parthenogenesis is the asexual mode of reproduction. We can say the parthenogenesis is a asexual reproduction because there is no involvement of the in gametes. No gametes are involved here. Actually it is a monoparental type. Definition of parthenogenesis is that it is a special type of monoparental. It is a special type of monoparental reproduction, that is one parent is involved. Monoparental reproduction where unfertilized ovum gives rise the new individual. So the unfertilized egg will give rise the main individual, and for example the honeybee, the female workers, as you probably know, they are always sterile, and in case of the plant the parthenogenesis can be refers to the parthenocarpy, and the carp means the fruit, and it is refers to the development of fruit from unfertilization. And for example the banana and pineapple. Now again move on to the sexual reproduction, and we can explain this. The sexual reproduction, in sexual reproduction, two different type of individual, that is male comprises of twice n, that is diploid set of chromosome twice n, and female individual are involved. Both the individual now will give rise the gamete, that is male and female gamete. Male individual give rise the sperm, that is male gamete, and the female individual gives rise the egg or ovum, that is the female gamete. So sperm move to the ovum and it fuses. The fusion occurs. The fusion or unite will give rise the zygote. The zygote after its formation undergoes the division and it will give rise the embryo, and it gradually gives rise the individual. So the male and female gamete, after its fusion of male and female gamete, the sperm and ovum, it unite to form the zygote, and zygote will give rise the embryo. Embryo will give rise gradually the individual. So the individual organism will be formed, and the resultant organism have both their male and female parent characteristics, and due to the inter-exchange of the characters, the variation occur and it will gives rise the evolution. So that is why the evolution is essential and it occurs through the sexual reproduction. So this is the schematic diagram of the sexual reproduction found in a organism.